Her laugh cut sharper than her words. My sister rolled her eyes, smug as if my existence was a punchline. No wonder. You're single. No woman would put up with you. My stepmom chimed in with that throaty chuckle. She saved for cruelty, disguised as humor. They fed off each other like hyenas. I sipped my drink. I didn't flinch. Instead, I smiled, leaned forward, and let the room tilt in my favor. Must be nice, I said slowly. Living rent tree. I let the pause hang. Oh, wait, not anymore. You're out of my apartment by tomorrow. The laughter died. That was the moment everything shifted. When Dad remarried, I gave her a chance. My stepmom had the polished smile, the perfume that lingered too long, the voice coated in false sweetness. I wanted to believe she was good for him, but I noticed early on every compliment had teeth. Every laugh came at someone's expense. Mine, especially. As for my sister, she grew up entitled. Everything handed to her. Nothing earned. When her spending spiraled, she came to me. Crocodile. Tears and promises just until I'm stable. I let her move into the apartment I owned. Rent-free utilities. Covered. She swore gratitude. Swear. She'd get back on her feet. Months passed. Then years gratitude soured into entitlement. They both forgot one thing. Nothing in my life is given. I earn. And I don't forget debts. At first, it was small. My sister's friends coming and going at all hours. Deliveries left at my door by mistake. Luxury handbags. Jewelry, all addressed to her. Yet, she never seemed to work. Then the whispers. A mutual friend slipped. Told me she was bragging about me being her pathetic safety net. That she'd never leave. Because I was too soft to push her out. And my stepmom, she wasn't on it. Encouraging her, using my apartment as a punchline at family dinners. At least, she's taken care of, she'd say, smirking at me like I was her errand boy. The last straw wasn't the words. It was the smirk. That night I walked past my own apartment, saw the lights, blazing, music blasting, her friends, lounging around with champagne. My sister lifted her glass, sneered, and said loud enough for me to hear, "He'll never kick me out. He's too desperate for family." That was the proof I needed. I didn't yell. I didn't argue. I didn't beg for respect. That was never coming. I planned. I dug out the lease. Agreement. There wasn't one. She had no contract, no rights. The apartment was mine, fully paid for. She was a guest. Nothing more. I checked the law. A 30-day notice would be standard, but her own arrogance gave me leverage. The police report I filed, noise complaints, unauthorized parties, property damage, would back me if she resisted. I called a locksmith, lined up the schedule. I drafted the notice, had it notarized, placed every legal brick neatly in place. All the while, I smiled at family. Dinners, let them laugh, let them think. I was still the fool. Every insult was another match I pocketed. I was saving them for the fire. The night of the dinner, I set the stage. When my sister spat her little insult, I didn't snap. I delivered my line with calm precision, watching their smug faces curdle. By the time dessert was served, the notice was already taped to her door. By morning, The locks would be changed. Her access, phone plan, streaming accounts, utilities, all cut. Everything tied to me severed. I even can led the credit. Card she borrowed. I'd been tracking her. Charges for months. Every designer bag. Every bar tab. Every frivolous purchase. All on me, no more. Her friends would see the eviction notice first, laughing. At the queen dethroned, the humiliation would spread faster than she could pack. And my stepmom, she depended on my father for her image, her stability. But half the bills, the health insurance, the car lease, all quietly filtered. Through me, I ended those, too. Dad could cover it or not. Either way, she'd feel the ground vanish beneath her. The next morning, my phone lit up with calls. First my sister, then my stepmom, then Dad, his voice heavy with forced calm. She's crying, he said. You didn't have to go this far. I laughed softly. I didn't go far enough. When I arrived at the apartment, my sister was outside, disheveled, screaming. The eviction notice fluttered on the door. Boxes littered the curb. Her friends had vanished. She lunged at me, eyes wild. You can't do this to me. I leaned in, close, voice steady. I already did. Then I turned to my stepmom, who'd followed, in her silk scarf and trembling hands. And you remember laughing last night? Laugh now. Her face drained of color. She knew. She understood that every perk she flaunted was borrowed, not earned, and I just repossessed it. The power shifted in a breath. For once, they weren't the predators. I walked away, calm, not triumphant, not gloating, simply free. For years, they fed on me, used me as their punchline, their provider, their safety net. They thought kindness meant weakness. They mistook patience for passivity. But the truth was simple. I don't raise my voice. I don't throw tantrums. I build the trap, brick by brick and weight. And when the moment comes, I cut the rope. Now the apartment is quiet. Mine again. My accounts are secure. Their laughter is gone, replaced by silence and desperation. Funny thing about silence, it's louder than their ridicule ever was. And as for me, I'm not angry anymore. I'm not hurt. I'm relieved because in the end, they learned the rule I live by. If you mock the hand, that feeds you. Don't be surprised when it closes into a fist.